Good morning, everyone. How are you doing on this beautiful Ohio day? It's the day after the snowstorm came through. We're in recovery mode, mainly catching up on a little bit of sleep. And I'll tell you what, it felt good to get a full 8 hours last night after the last 3 days. Anyways, we're gonna go into maintenance mode, which you guys have seen this. You know, spraying the trucks off, greasing the plows, getting the salt hoppers cleaned all out. That's currently what I'm going to do right now. We got a little bit of salt left. We got to empty back out at the bin. All right, gonna clean up the drive and parking lot here a little bit. We got quite a bit of snow. I did this the other day, took about 2-3 inches off. We got about 4 inches in here right now. I think total for the entire storm, in most places we were 7 to 8 inches. I know it doesn't look like that in a lot of the videos, but those are zero tolerance lots, so therefore we have to continually, from the beginning to the end, take care of those lots, so we can't allow it to build up. With that being said, we are supposed to really warm up this week, and that's going to be nice, even though it's going to make everything get super muddy. But I'll come back here in 1 second. We're actually supposed to hit the 50s.
I'm making plays, I'm making hits, I'm making hits, I'm making plays, I never miss, haters gon' hate, yeah, they gon' hate, but look at the clips, just look at the clips, at the end of the day, nothing but green grass in my view, hit them for 50 yards up the middle, all of my rushes are ready to move, tell your quarterback, head on the swivel, double overtime, shoot for the kill, I put it all on my shoulders, give 100 till it's over. All of this ice in my veins, tell me, how could there be anyone colder? I put it all on my shoulders.
All right, got it all pulled back. Gives us enough room up in here. We can turn around and do what we need to do loading wise and bring equipment in and out of here as we need to. And just sitting down there thinking for a minute how gorgeous it was. And anyways, got that scraped off. Mainly I'm trying to get to this ice layer that's still here. We're hoping as it warms up, that'll finally break and melt off. I'd much rather like being on gravel rather than, you know, a nice slippery ice skating ring. So anyways, here at the old salt bunker, yeah, I think that last storm we went through about 10 to 11 ton total between both. The salt bunker, really liking it now. The gutters, best thing we could have did. I know some of you didn't like it, but it worked. So yeah, I'll show you over here real quick. So when the ice comes down now, it hits the top of the gutter and then it has time to melt off, okay? Most of it's just shearing right off the side because that's actually giving us a pretty decent, you know, I guess, slide there, if that's what you want to call it. Nice little area to go. Kind of how it was originally supposed to be with the tarp coming down and over. But what it does now, though, is it has time to sit in here and melt, and then it drips down. Now, right here, we will have to get some downspouts because we're getting just a little bit of runoff here where it's building up and freezing. But super, super happy with where we're at right now with this. Skid loader's been running great. Honestly, a really, really good storm. Got a little bit of a mess, you got to get cleaned up. Overall though, no complaints. I know some of you were asking how we like the clear lane. Really, really good so far. Really liking it. Something I didn't anticipate was being able to see where the salt was a lot easier than, you know, traditional rock salt. You know, you throw something that's kind of clear, has a little bit of rock in it onto something that's white, kind of hard to see until it really starts melting off. You do pick up on it, you do kind of keep track of your areas, but sometimes the salt spreaders could get a little plug in them or something like that where they're not throwing, you know, 30 feet when you should be throwing 30 feet. Maybe you're only throwing like 10 feet. And you got to do a little maintenance, get them working properly again. All right, so I'm sitting here waiting on the skid loader to warm up, and I get a notification on my phone from the Ohio Department of Transportation stating that we have a freezing, let me open it up here, freezing rain alert. Plan ahead, saying tonight into tomorrow morning. So, yeah. I'm not gonna be cleaning the trucks up. I'll say it like that. I'm gonna empty this one out. We got a little bit back here, but I'm not gonna even waste my time now. We just went from literally no events for the next 6 days, supposed to be in the mid 50s, to now saying that tonight into tomorrow morning we're gonna have an event at some point of freezing rain. So yeah, big shout out to them though. I love getting these alerts. I'll put it up on the screen as well. It's kind of hard to see the reflection, but make sure you're following your state stuff and staying on top of it. Oh, real quick as well, and they put out that we've had 14 snowplow trucks on the highways hit this year already. 14. So make sure you guys are being vigilant, and make sure you're paying attention to stuff when you're out there driving around, especially during a storm. If you see lights and stuff, try to get away from them, let them do their job. And don't always assume they see you, because a lot of times they might not, and that can get real bad real quick and in a hurry. So 14 trucks, that's crazy. So I'm discovering another benefit here to using the clear lane salt versus traditional rock salt. So traditional rock salt, normally after it gets a little bit of moisture in it, it hardens up, basically like rocks. And you got to chisel it off, all this stuff with a screwdriver. And I am using a screwdriver here, but I'm figuring out that I'm pretty much able to just wipe it right off with the screwdriver, and it's not stuck whatsoever. So I didn't anticipate that when we got this, but it's really, really nice. And I'm going to show you here in a second. I'm going to climb up in the bed where all that salt was I showed you earlier, and I literally just am going to push it out. And you'll see a big chunk back there, but that was the regular rock salt from before we got the clear lane that was hardened up. And yeah, this is really, really cool, because there's nothing worse than having some salt harden up in any of this stuff, and you got to chisel it away to be able to get things to work properly. So this was really quick and convenient. So the hopper's honestly not bad. I mainly climbed up in there just to get some of the extra out of the bed that's kind of just falling over. I do like keeping a little bit of that in there though, because that bed gets slick. But anyways, I just want to make sure nothing's building up too heavy. I'll sling the rest of that off before I pull out. But we got her emptied out. All right guys, getting loaded up here. The ice is going to be coming within the next hour or two, so we're going to go ahead and pre-salt. We're going to try to keep that ice layer from sticking to the concrete. TQ's been loading up here. I was actually on a video call real quick. TQ's getting phenomenal at running this machine, though. I'll say it like that. People always say, you know, shouldn't let your woman do work. But, you know, these are very valuable skills if, God forbid, something would ever happen to me. You got the flick down, babe. You got the flick down. The more skills somebody knows, the better. None of us know how long God's gonna keep us on this earth. We gotta get that light changed. Good job. We got the tarp on. We don't want to get any extra moisture into our salt if we don't have to. Ready to rock and roll, TQ?
I'm ready as ever.
Let's go. Did you guys know this? I actually learned it about 4 or 5 years ago, back when the EXPO was the GIE Expo, just standing and listening to an ice management expert talk about different salts and what they can do and how you can use them to benefit your business. So they said that pre-treating your pavement before a major storm is of great benefit in the long run, saving you both time and money. With this process, you can reduce your salt usage by 25 to 35%, if I remember correctly, compared to what you would use after you had already had a storm come through. Some of you might not know how a snow maintenance contract works. So you could be sitting there saying, oh, I'm ripping the customer off. And in reality, guys, this is all booked into their contract, okay? This doesn't cost them any less or any more at the end of the month when they pay their bill. They're set on an X amount of plows, X amount of saltings, and as long as they fall within those demographics, it's all covered under the contract of the base price that they pay. Basically, like I explained it to you guys before, it's like having insurance, okay? If there's any potential for storms, like this ice storm that's supposed to come tonight, versus if it's not going to storm, this just guarantees they're going to be covered. And it's a really nice convenience to have as a business, knowing that you have nothing to worry about. It's also really nice on our end as well, because we know how much money we're going to make every month, how much overhead we have, and we can really stay on top of knowing our numbers and knowing where we fall. So I just wanted to explain it to you in case you don't know, just so you don't think anybody's being taken advantage of here. Do it up, girl. Told TQ to hop in the seat. She hasn't used the Dodge much, so I said, hey, right now is a great time. Everything's fairly dry, a little bit of sprinkle in the air so far, but still got about an hour before it's going to get here. So if you don't know what pre-salting is, basically we want to put a layer between the concrete, the blacktop, and when the ice is going to land, because once the ice comes, it is going to be bad. If you're wondering what we're running the spreader at, we're at 5 and 5. Got some gravel out through here. what's the difference between the 9,000 and the 8,000, the spreaders. The 9,000 that's on the dump truck can hold 3 cubic yards, which is a lot of salt, okay? So therefore we don't have to go back to our loading place very much. And that was the problem last year. We were having to make multiple trips back and get loaded up when we were using a provider, which, you know, that's no fun. That's a lot of time, a lot of mileage, a lot of just lost revenue because we're just driving back and forth. So we went to the bigger one. We still have the smaller ones as well, which are great and really nice for the pickup trucks that have the smaller beds. You can still get, you know, that 8,000 in there and get a lot of salt. But also, you know, I was talking with Andy Mulder yesterday, and you know, talking about how nice it is to still have the cab on the back of the truck, you know, to put stuff in and bring more guys with you or whatever, especially if you're using it for a salt truck. You can bring guys out to shovel or run snow blowers, equipment, yada yada yada. And yeah, it's just one of those benefits to every truck. There's no true perfect truck, but you can get a truck that can do a lot of really good for you. I know some of you might not understand what we're doing as well. This might seem like a waste or, you know, excessive. Trust me, guys, you have one slip, you have a customer, an employee, something like that come out and get injured, the amount of money that you spend for a seasonal contract for salting and plowing would be absolutely nothing to those medical bills. Trust me, I've had many conversations with presidents of companies, CEOs of companies, and people that are just head of HRs, and they're like, we do not care. We want this taken care of. We want that taken care of. We cannot have this happening.
How am I doing?
Did you get it all?
How am I doing?
You're doing good.
I just gotta do this side of the bay.
Yeah. Well, give me a ride back down here real quick because there's some gravel kicked out. I don't know if it was from us or a truck, but I want to push it back into the little bed. Actually, almost looks like a semi went through it, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll fix it. Get it off.
I think so. There's a big rock.
Perfect.
here.